All right, it is 7 PM on September 10th, 2019, and we are going to open the regular board meeting. Do roll call, please.
Yep, trustees Chris Sample,
Here.
John Talbot.
Here.
William Luxinger,
Here.
Dina Simpson. Here. Jen Christensen.
Here.
Jared Doan.
Here.
President Rick Worm.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabady.
Here.
I Clerk Sandy Mazem here. Attorney David Silverman.
Here.
Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Had to bash heads with the attorney. Thank you. Read the items on the consent agenda, please.
Yep, tonight for approval on the consent agenda, number 1 is August 13th, 2019 regular board minutes. Item number 2 is the bills payable warrant list dated September 10th, 2019. Number 3 is resolution number 19-46, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a locked price sales agreement for the 2019 Ag Commercial LP gas by and between Thompson Gas and the Village of Davis Junction. And number 4 is ordinance number 19-19, an ordinance authorizing disposal of personal property owned by the Village of Davis Junction, being the old water plant park.
At this time, does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda for further discussion? We'll entertain a motion.
I move to place agenda items 1, 2, 3, and 4 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as the consent agenda.
William makes a motion to place items 1, 2, 3, and 4 together on the consent agenda. Dina seconds. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Passes 702.
I move to adopt items 1, 2, 3, and 4 inclusively on the consent agenda in the signal group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedure specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Second.
William makes a motion to adopt items 1, 2, 3, and 4 inclusively on the consent agenda. Jared seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Motion passes 703. We don't have anything that came off the agenda, so the only thing under me is water bill drawing.
That's not attached.
You have little sheets of paper in there for the other 150.
That's from last month.
One 112 Sunny Hill Drive.
All right.
Sunny Hill does seem popular for small as the road is. I have nothing further this evening, so we'll move on to the clerk.
I have a piece of self-appreciation for myself. The village has generously allowed me to attend training over the last couple of years, and at this point, I have now received from the State of Illinois Municipal Clerks Association my registered municipal clerk's certificate, and then I've also received from the International Institute of Municipal Clerks my certified municipal clerk. So I am now authorized to put these pretty letters after my name that I probably won't do, but if anybody is interested in what that means, they did have a printout in their magazine saying what it takes to earn it, and then I've earned mine.
Cool.
Congratulations.
That's all.
Congratulations. Treasurer,
All I have is the August treasurer's report and the board packet. Have any questions? If not, that's it.
no, I think we answered the only question before the meeting. Village attorney.
I will save anything I have to say to exec.
All right, we'll go on to the committees, community development and events.
We are on our last 2 dates for the farmer's market, which was tomorrow night from 4 to 7, and then the 25th also, which may be only like 4 to 6, depending on daylight. That's all I have.
All right, finance?
Do we have any emergency expenditures?
No, we do not.
I have nothing.
Ordinance enforcement?
Nothing.
Parks?
I have nothing.
Chris, streets?
Never let us down.
Well, as you've seen our weather, Martin was supposed to come back out and start on, Red Fox and Frosty Morning. Weren't really able to. I mean, they did some work on Thursday. We didn't get much done on Friday, at least it didn't appear to. But we had a lot of rain too, so, and I guess they're kind of stalled now.
They started to form up that side of Frosty Morning yesterday.
Yeah.
Once again, we got hit
And
with
they had
rain.
boards floating in the
Yeah, the
ditch,
boards are
so-
floating at the end.
Yeah, I don't know where that water's supposed to go, though. They must have to pump it
They
out.
pump it through the whistle. Yep.
So, a ton hasn't happened there. We have a proposal to fix the, I don't know how I wanna put this, the project at 134. It's part of the overall, Red Fox, Frosty Morning, and the two back ditches, but there's the ditch that runs, in between, I don't know, 134, Harvest Glen, and in the back.
Yeah.
What's the other address? Is it 138?
It might be 130, is it 132, 134?
Yeah, maybe that's
I
132.
can't remember which one.
I actually emailed you this. We could maybe possibly get that out. No?
When'd you send that to me?
Just now.
Maybe?
When we had a great deal of rain, after they put in the concrete bottom and we actually had the wings added to the ditch project, we had a great deal of water come through in a rather short time, and it washed out quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think what was engineered for the space was adequate to fit it. So we need to do some repairs to it, or actually some extension to it. And we've gotten a couple different estimates from Martin, who's already doing the work.
There you
All right. And as you can see that, the green portion is a partial addition that we could do, and do a loan. That would cost us about $13,500.
Can you tell me what I'm looking at here?
Yeah. This is the ditch that runs between. In fact, if
You do Google Maps?
What a-
Yeah.
Is that for,
Hold on,
for
Rick.
Lily and Frosty Morning?
what?
No, it's on Harvest
No,
Glen.
this is Harvest Glen.
By Sharon McManus. Sharon.
Yeah.
Rick's
Right
gonna
by
pull it
Sharon?
up.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
130.
house down, Rick.
House down
It
from
looks
Sharon.
like that.
Right.
If you look on the opposite side of the street from the culvert, on this side, which is actually the south side, right? So if you look on the north side, it has a huge concrete ditch in it, about 6 feet
North side
across,
where?
of Harvest Glen near 132, 134.
It's the concrete ditch between, Harvest Glen and Prairie Moon is the one on the north side that we installed
Thank you.
last year, the year before.
Now I have an understanding.
Ryan's.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's,
And the other one's here.
I don't know if you can't really focus in, but that ditch is huge across there, and it feeds down, goes under two culverts under the road and into the ditch on the other side. Where we had a small, concrete pad going down it, that wasn't adequate, the part of the plan was to replace it. Well, they did,
This
but,
is the culvert here then?
yes, it would. Well, that would be the pad that it enters out into. So you have the two culverts come out right where the yellow is.
Right here.
Yep.
And then this would be addition, and this would be an addition.
Well, the green would be an addition, currently.
What's the blue?
Well, that's the minimum we'd have to do to fix it, but in reality, if we don't do the entire thing, we're going to come back and fix it again. And this will be the fourth time.
What's the blue?
The blue is a proposal to remove it all and then extend it, which is the price that you see for $36,641,
Okay.
which is probably what we should have done in the first place. But we didn't.
So remove everything they just put in?
And I'm not exactly sure why we didn't. You know, you can't have a 6-foot drainage ditch funneling into an 18-inch concrete pad on the other
That's what
side.
Lord Hoffman does.
Thank you.
I'm
I-
not lying, we've done it before.
well, I don't know, you know, there's been some debate on whether or not the village told them that they didn't wanna have big concrete pads for either looks or aesthetics or safety or whatever the case may be. But in reality, you cannot have a 6-foot ditch funneling into an 18-inch concrete pad that goes up, straight up, and, you know, it's just gonna have 4 feet of water in it, you're gonna wash the sides out every time. We should have fixed it the first time the right way.
So I don't think I'm the only one. I still don't understand what I'm looking at, and I don't understand how that correlates
All right, so
to
here,
property here.
Well, currently,
this is
the yellow is what's installed.
this is the
I
envelope.
understand. What am I looking at? The grade of the yard? I'm
No,
looking
this
at
is
lines.
top ditch.
Over.
Water.
You-
You're looking straight
The
down.
water flow.
You're looking
Well, here.
overview straight
This,
down
this
at
might
it.
help, if I
Okay.
can find it.
Yellow's what's there.
Where's rotate?
You're not record part one more. No, Jeff.
Either way, this
Well,
is,
you don't
this
have
is
to.
north, this is south.
Right, you don't have to rotate it. There's a house on each
Yeah,
side.
okay, so I'm looking at it like you,
Yeah.
like a plane, but don't look straight.
So,
Look straight down at it.
Straight
right,
down.
so here is
Got it.
134, and here's 132. Here's the road.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, it's on this side.
okay,
Yep.
no, I'm with you now.
So the road runs here,
Okay,
right? This is 134, this is 132, the culvert's flush out here. And currently in yellow is what we have, which is what was apparently designed by Willard
this
Hoffman.
part right here, then?
That's my.
We had already had a concrete pad in there, but it must have been 12 inches.
It was small.
It was small.
Whatever it was, wasn't adequate. 18 isn't adequate either. Now, we could just fix the green, but you're gonna come back and fix it again, which apparently we.
Go on the map that I can see the houses and tell me on the concrete again where we're at.
Right here is the yellow that's coming in
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah,
Okay, but you need to,
Did we just put
You need to
concrete
zoom
in
that
there, or no?
Well, I'm trying to, so you can see both.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to see that, I just need to see the map.
Okay. So this is where it comes in and then comes back and makes the
Did we
job.
Can you bring this
Concrete in
down a
there?
little bit so you can see the
Yes.
concrete? All right, here's the concrete
Or
ditch
no?
that flows under the road and then empties out to here.
Did we, I'm
Look
just.
how big this ditch is.
Mm-hmm.
They put, this is probably 5 or 6 feet. They brought it into 18 inches, and except for it's steeper. So when we get a heavy rain, it just washes it out. And then it goes down and hits the curve.
Can you zoom out? Because that does mean no
What's
good when you
the
guys
size,
can zoom.
what
So here's
is
the
the
curve.
size of the tube
Flat
under the
side
road?
curve.
Does that
Right.
need to be replaced?
What's that?
We're over here.
The size of the
Mhm.
tube under the road, is that something?
No, those are huge.
Those are huge.
Oh, yeah.
This is in here, no,
There's
this
two
was here.
tubes underneath the
long
road, and they're both big.
We did that.
How big are those tubes?
They're, I don't know off the top of my head, at least 36 is
Yeah.
probably, I'm guessing.
I mean,
Yeah.
we just put the.
And there's two.
like a little.
So it comes flying down the ditch and then hits the
Or
curve.
am I reversed
And that's,
around?
You're reversed.
So
This has been here 50.
it wipes out everything on the sides,
Okay.
We did this.
because it's going fast, and
And it's a lot
And
of
it's-
water.
Well,
Right,
and
so
then,
it's on the water.
it's, from what it looks there, it's getting smaller as it goes.
So Chris,
So the velocity of the water is gonna increase.
the issue at hand here is that this was all built in reverse. Leave that back up there. The concrete
piece?
drain that runs along Sunny Hill and, what is Hickory,
Yeah.
that 2-foot
Uh-huh.
concrete has been there for over 15 years.
This
To the north, where it's 6 feet wide, that's new. So it all drains to an older infrastructure, which obviously is smaller, yes.
well, and I can understand that but when they went to redo it, when they went to re-engineer the other side, why they would have it go from 6 feet to 18 inches is
For the
beyond.
same reason, on the corner of Autumn Wolf and Autumn Wolf, we have 2 24-inch pipes running into one 18-inch pipe under somebody's driveway.
Right,
that we
how
tore out
how does
together.
that work?
Because it's Willard Hoffman.
All right, well, I
It needs
can't,
to be fixed, it needs to be fixed right.
that's what I'm saying. We could do the green, which would cost us, $13,481. But in reality, we should do the whole thing the right way this time.
You got too much flow.
This is gonna be a little bit more than what we have left on our contingency, and I wanted you guys, the board, to decide whether or not we wanted to spend the extra money before we move forward.
So is this cutting the Harvest Glen and putting in a bigger pipe?
No,
No,
No.
That's already big.
no, we have plenty, no, that's not the
This
problem.
is just the swale
That is
coming
the
out.
swale, correct.
this is just fixing the outflow.
Okay, but if we do that, are we just introducing more water and volume
Here.
to all the backyards between Sunny Hill and Hickory until it gets down to Autumn Wolf again?
Well, it spreads out a great deal after you get past the curve.
I don't think it does.
No, it does.
They got
Flatten
two in
out.
I've been out there many times, it's
Yeah,
flattened
the
out.
grade flattens out,
Oh.
basically, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, so,
So
while you have,
the water's gonna slow down. Problem right now is this keeps getting smaller, and you introduce that water at that size, the velocity's gonna increase as it hits this S-curve, and then it's gonna hit the plane and flatten out and slow
What-
down again.
Do you mind if I?
no, please,
Okay.
interject.
So this is a unique area, for our drainage through this town. We're basically, we're trying to change the direction of water 3 times in about 200 feet. And we're talking a lot of water, coming from the north side, like Chris was explaining. So we're trying to dial that down and change that direction, 3 times, as you can see up there. And the problem we have is like Chris said, we've done this 2 or 3 times. Every time we make a change, we change what that water does. Where we cause a problem here, we cause a problem there. Every time we do something, we're just moving a problem that we didn't foresee. So, like Chris said, we're gonna widen the entire thing out. Now, is it gonna always, the water be contained in the concrete? No,
No.
because when you get the massive rains, it's still gonna come up, but this will hopefully slow down or stop any erosion issues, with those larger events, is what we're trying to do.
You know, at the end of the curve, you might have some erosion, but
Yeah.
in reality, it widens out greatly, which should slow the water down, which should reduce any erosion.
Yes.
Will all work be done in the easement, the existing easement?
As of right now, yes.
Okay.
So with going with the $36,000, that would remove everything they just put in and start over.
Yes. You can't, because of the wings that we had put on, you can't separate the 2 out, so you have to remove it all. But the removal's relatively inexpensive, it was $3,900. But, Willard Hoffman, yeah, well, it appears, but, again, I don't know what somebody had told them in the past. I'm just saying that going forward, I prefer that if we, are going to do it, we do it right the first time, so we don't have to do them over again. We could do the green, and then probably have to come back in a year or 2 and fix the blue. In which case, that's exactly what they're doing, except for it's gonna cost us more, because they're not gonna be in the middle of it, and they're not gonna already be out there and give us the better price, so it's probably gonna cost us double.
Yes.
It's how you wanna move forward. I don't like to spend the money on, but if we're gonna do it, let's do it right the first time.
Let's fund it. We got it.
Anybody else?
I'm good with it.
I'm good, Chris.
William?
I'm okay.
Fix it right.
Why stop fixing the errors now?
This is wrong.
Question.
Going forward, I'd like to avoid the errors. Please go ahead.
Maybe David can help chime in. I think we're gonna need a change order, because that's quite a big chunk of money we're asking for there.
It's over the contingency amount.
Yeah, how much was the original contract?
The whole thing, it's built into 4, it's over 500,000.
No, it doesn't meet the threshold.
Does it need approval by the board?
No, you can just go ahead and do this,
All right.
because it doesn't meet the statutory threshold.
Perfect.
If it's over a the cumulative total's over 500?
500, the estimate was 502, the bid was 479.
There were 3 projects combined into one.
4,
I'm sorry, 4 projects combined into one
4.
bidding.
3 or 4, I
So
can't
the
remember,
total bid is for all 4 projects.
together.
Yeah, but all of them were well over $400,000.
$470,000.
Individual.
I don't know.
So,
Do
the
you know
only,
what this one was individually?
Yeah.
What was this one individually?
21,149.90.
This is more than the original bid amount.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's the critical thing right
Yeah.
there, yeah, this is,
And there are
so this
4.
is actually a whole new project. It's not even a change order.
We need to approve that at a regular, or at the admin board
No,
meeting.
no, that's not an issue for me. I just
Yeah.
to know going forward, except for that we're running out of time for the rest of the year. But you don't have to rebid it, right?
You would have to rebid it, this is a whole new project, this isn't merely a change order. Because the work has already been done, you're now
It was never
changing the project.
completed.
Well, it's not completed yet.
Well, what's not done?
All the restoration work, everything. So, I mean, technically, this has not been closed out.
Has the core infrastructure project been done?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Of this section of.
of this section, correct. Correct.
Otherwise, the rest of it is still in the midst of it, because they haven't even done.
Can I
So what-
send
I
one
mean,
thing that
even
you
if it's
could-
a change order, you're gonna have to bid it. I mean, you know, because,
Can I send you the
Yeah,
bid
send-
packet tomorrow?
Yeah,
and
that would be
you
helpful.
Can
Can
let
I
me
ask,
know
is this
what
from
we
like
need.
the 50-year rains and the 100-year rains, or is this just common rainfall?
How'd this do during the rainfall?
The other issue is, when, we told us, the
Yesterday.
board, that it's gonna happen, that when we keep replacing these waterways with concrete, the water is gonna move faster and more violently.
Yeah,
It's
no,
gonna
this,
take those
this
erosions
isn't,
out.
this isn't a 100-year rain.
But
You-
what
Have
I'm
you,
getting
has,
at is-
has any of the rainfall we've had in the
No.
last month been a
I
100-year
want
rain
this.
for you?
No, but when it comes, when you get the amount of rain we've had
And then-
in 20 minutes,
It's a lot of
it
rain.
might not meet the 100-year flood threshold, but it's a
Well, how much erosion did we see yesterday during the heavy rain?
I didn't walk back there. I mean, I'm just going off of what Chris and I looked
Well,
at.
we're
I
also
just,
going off of one rain that lasted 2 hours
I
on
just,
one
Rick-
day. That eroded out half.
I just sent you a picture if there's any way you can.
Yeah.
This was from a couple of days ago when we got that 2 inches
I
of
mean, if we
rain.
have to do it over, then we'll do it over. That's not an issue for me.
what you're saying is you wanna do it right, but I'm telling
Yes.
you, we're gonna do it right, but this is gonna cause a problem down the road somewhere else.
That's a possibility, but it's probably more limited than what you think because it flattens out at the end of the S-curve. That's
When
what
you
I'm
say
saying.
flattened out, to me, all that means is the water.
Spreads
doesn't
out.
move-
So you're going from a V like
Correct.
this
So it spreads out
to,
into the yard.
right. Well, the backyard, sure. It's
Yeah.
part of the backyard.
But right now, what we're struggling with is, we don't know. I mean, you don't know. Every rain event is different. Every time it does, it's something different. It's not something we can pinpoint and.
When I lived,
Which my point is, we're not gonna be able to fix everything Mother Nature throws at us.
that's true.
So,
But when I lived at,
what was washed out, that's the other thing I'm not aware of.
Hold
the
on.
Photos.
when I lived at 142 Autumnwood Lane, you would get the rain, the water coming up 5-6 feet from the ditch. Never had any erosion. It was water, it just wasn't moving that fast.
The original bid for this segment of the deal.
So it's not just an issue of that you have a lot of water, it's how fast and how small amount of area.
Aware.
And I'm saying that if you make the changes going down the road where it widens out, it should mitigate any remaining issues with erosion.
So, do we have photos of what the erosion is?
Well, I don't know, did we take photos?
Is
I
it
normally
cheaper
do.
to just fix the erosion each time?
Well, sure, but till when? How long before you,
You keep
You
on
clipped
fixing
your-
it
your-
once you fix
your-
it out,
Wash out more.
instead of keep coming back.
no, really, this is an issue of engineering. It should have been engineered correctly in the first place. I get it.
Well, what is your contract with Willett Hoffman?
I can send him pictures if you'd like.
I'd prefer to see it.
I have no
It's
idea, I've
about
never seen it.
$35,000.
In fact,
I
I've never
wouldn't
seen
All right,
the
it's-
actual
all right, that's
contract
fine, let me,
Yeah.
for the construction.
All right, there it is,
I'd
Brett.
actually like to see those too. Is that a issue?
We don't have one.
We don't have a contract for it? Not with Will Hoffman. For these, we had a contract, because Rick had to sign them, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's all the
That's the bid.
contracts for the,
Right.
that I'm gonna send David, I can just CC you.
Swimming.
Yeah, would you? Because I've never seen them.
What's erosion?
It always, those ditches still, an overflow.
The markers are still up from when they put the grass in and everything else.
There you go.
All right, fine.
So basically, you can just see kind of the edge here, William, and then that tapers down, and then under all this water, you've got about an 18-inch V gutter,
it used to be too.
maybe 2 foot. I don't remember what exactly, I have to measure, because we do different ones.
Well, with the
Going down
wings,
through
it
the middle.
probably ends up being about 2 feet.
Are we gonna contain this entire event here
No.
in this? No, we're not. We're not trying to do that, because we just can't in this town.
A ton of water.
Great picture.
But I don't know how long it'll take. If Rick can load up the other pictures, I can show you where we do have issues with our current setup and our lower flow events. This is a free-for-all. It's gonna take whatever it wants to take, and we're not gonna stop it. So, yes, I know what you're asking by, when do we draw the line?
But the farther you go up, the slower the water goes.
Yeah, starts to slow down, yes.
Way Rick's doing that, the input from the north side of that drainage ditch that's probably what it looks like every time our snow melts too. Every time.
Yes.
Because we see that up by my house on the north side.
Saying, we're gonna come back and do it again. I'd rather fix it just the one time. And it's ridiculous that it's going to cost more to fix it than it should have in the beginning. than what the bid was for in the beginning, because it wasn't engineered as well as it should have been. But again,
Is that something that when
well, I don't
we
know,
talked about that with regards to the engineering, have we talked to them about the cost on this, obviously this next piece that they'd have to do something about, towards it? Or no?
we could.
What did they say when we brought this to their attention?
They don't have anything to say. They just follow whatever directions we're giving them. Do you think, I didn't say to them, why didn't you engineer this correctly? I don't know what directions they were following at the time, because Jason did it. Did Jason tell them, hey, we don't want to have, a 3 or 4 foot concrete pad on the bottom to contain the water? I don't know.
Well, I don't know that it's actually, and this is just my opinion, I don't know that I'd be expert enough to know what type of pad or what size, that's why we paid them.
I agree. I totally agree. But, maybe they recommended that, and he said, no, it's too much. We don't want that much. I don't know, because I wasn't there for that. But it seems to me that 18 inches, that if you take out a 12 inch because it wasn't big enough and put down 18 inches, then you really haven't done anything. Not for the kind of volume of water. And if you see see how big those tubes are? Those are probably 2.5, 3 foot tubes that are flowing in there. You gotta know that there's gonna be a large volume of water coming through. It's worse now than it was before.
Will adding cement throw water further up into those yards, or no?
I don't think so. It's gonna come up as high as,
Yeah,
the people told us, the people who live there at,
Because you're not 10 feet, 12 feet away from those basement windows on that one side. Doesn't look like it.
We're still within the drainage easement, John.
No, I just meant as far as
Which one you want,
where
Brett?
the water's gotta go before it's in somebody's.
No, I don't think so.
William had asked for pictures as to where,
but they're,
so,
the
Yeah.
homeowners are
This would be a new
advocating
project.
for more.
Well, I'm sure they will.
so basically, William, it's,
Yeah.
Exceeds by over 100% the original amount.
you've got erosion here,
Oh.
That's what I thought.
you've got, it's washed out here, it's washed out here, and then Rick just
So
wants
was to go that a
through.
finished product? So because what I
Okay,
see is
so-
washed out of a halfway completed construction project.
Well, okay, like I said, I'm just showing you what is there. No, there is no sod is established. Will the sod stop this from happening? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on that.
I do, no.
Sorry, but,
No, it'll wash out
I'm
underneath.
also not an engineer.
Huh?
I can't tell you what's gonna happen.
It's gonna wash it out. I don't,
When we did this
Grass doesn't
project,
wash out just from rain.
Might rot out over time.
when we did this project last time, William, we
If
thought
it's-
that would
If
work.
it's seeded, rooted grass, it doesn't wash out.
Hard to do this.
It-
depends on the speed of the water.
It needs,
Have you
and
seen,
it needs duration,
have you
length.
seen floods?
I can show you pictures. I've been involved in them
Right,
for many
and
years.
they'll take away houses, right? So you're telling me it won't take
Just-
away
Are you
sod?
telling me we're gonna have a flood in David
No,
Township?
no, I'm not saying that at all.
We
I'm
have
just saying, it's only sod, it's not a house.
Just so everyone understands, I just want to point out one thing, because the question did come up, and the statute gives you up to 50% of the original contract amount to do a change order. Anything in excess of that, it's a whole new project.
All right,
So this would be a whole new project.
It'll have to be bid.
I'm concerned at the $36,000 for a project
Well,
that we're gonna
consider-
tear out that isn't even complete yet, because we don't know if this one will work or not.
all right.
Let's complete it.
Because
Since you gotta
okay,
rebid it,
so
you might as well wait and see.
Any other home or area in this subdivision, or this community, have their grass uprooted or their sod uprooted during this rainfall?
No, that's why somebody in stone down.
I don't know, did it?
I've
I
lost
didn't-
part of
I
my
didn't see
ditch
any.
to excessive, I think in my case, the grass rots out because the water sits on top of it forever and it just rots out.
You kill the roots.
Yeah, so I don't
Yeah,
think
but
it
that
takes it
area
out, but
won't.
it
That-
still
that's
rots
different.
out.
And that's why we
different
put
from standing
these
water and
gutters
flowing
in
water.
Those main waterways.
It still
Exactly,
rots,
so
it
that
still
it won't
disappears
sit
however you
anymore.
look at it, so.
Well, Dina, you're on the corner there. You take a lot of abuse. Did you lose any grass?
With the amount of rain we had in the last month, my ditch has not been dry for quite a while, so, we didn't lose grass because we've been there 17 years. So, like the part where the tubes come out, down by that always, there isn't like grass right there because that was never ever corrected the way it should have been to begin with.
You know,
So, it sits in there constantly because the grade is wrong, and
but by William's theory, we should have never replaced the 12-inch pad that was in there in the first place.
No.
What do you mean, no? There was sod, it was established, why would we need to replace it?
The outlets of drains dip right down, and they do create holes in the ground.
There was a pad there already. Why did we need to replace it?
Just like you said, you have to ask Jason.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
But what I'm saying is, just because dirt erodes doesn't mean grass does.
All right. So you're saying that if we wanna do it, we'd have to rebid it?
It's
if
a
we
whole
wanted
new
to do
project.
this? All right, all right.
Do you feel we'd be able to get it done this year if we
No,
rebid it?
no.
Well, then we
What-
could go with Williams' theory and see what happens.
I do
Well-
see an issue with the engineering on that first pipe where the water comes out and it goes straight into the side of the yard of that house. That will cause erosion when the volume and velocity and the force continue to hit that. But when water just flows, that's the whole intention that's been
Well,
preached to us for,
but, you know,
for 10 years about the open ditches.
How do they build up water
Grass
pressure?
is supposed to be there,
But-
grass is supposed to,
I understand
absorb
that,
and
and I
slow
get you,
down.
and I'm not even gonna argue this project with you anymore, because clearly, we're not gonna be able to do it anyway. Because what he just said, 50%, you'd have to rebid it, we're never gonna get it done this year, so we'll just make whatever changes we're gonna need to make. But how do you build up pressure in a hose? You keep reducing the area that's flowing through, right? It's the same concept.
you need head pressure on the backside.
But the same concept applies. You have pressure, it's coming from across the street on a 6-foot ditch that you're funneling
That's
through.
not pressure.
It is, it will be.
No, it's not pressure,
Sure it
it's an
is.
open system. That's, give you an
You
analogy.
still have
Not
pressure
pressure.
and speed, you do. You have the same,
All right, we can
That's
argue this forever.
That's gravity and flow.
the concept the same. However you wanna make it, the concept is the same.
So, with the position we're in, is everybody okay with finishing the project? Let's see what happens with it. Because if we're gonna do another project, we're never getting it done this year, so we
How
can
much
start
is-
with it next
How much
year.
of it have we paid for? Is it better off just stopping it?
You're better off getting the sod in there,
Why? Sod isn't gonna do anything.
and it will do something.
Oh,
My ditch is still intact.
I don't know, we'll have to go back and look at it. Next year at this time,
So what
look.
is this project costing?
Right now,
Yes, this,
$21,000.
and then the new estimate was 36,
That's what it would be, but we can't do that,
Right.
as you just said, right?
trying to
Yeah.
get numbers.
That's what I'm saying, which, if you had the two together, would have been 57. Had we done it correctly in the first place, it shouldn't have cost, probably less than $30,000 in the first place, maybe.
Can I ask a question, Chris?
And this is the third time.
I just am curious, because I don't know, seriously. You know how it narrows
right, because
itself,
you're more
like,
than half.
at that neck where it narrows itself? And then it seems like it's even more narrow straight back from that last photo that he had up there with the dirty water one that you could see it. So does it need to be wider all the way through? Not just at the beginning, like by those two houses, but it doesn't need to be wider all the way through?
Well, that's the blue. The blue would have been made it wider all the way through.
But just at, no, like,
We're talking about here.
just at that curve and all that stuff, but I'm talking like all the way through.
But this is where he said.
Mean
it
past the
flat-
curve?
This is where it flattens
No,
out.
after the curve, it flattens out. I mean, the V, which you could see from the water that he had, the sides are steep. I'm sure the homeowners have a hard time mowing the grass, because they're
Because I
pretty
just
steep.
wondered, as it goes further back,
Now, when you get past the second curve,
Either-
it just
Rick, how old is
flattens
that
out.
map?
okay,
And then does
What's
a
that?
How old
gentle
is that?
curve.
okay.
This one?
Is that right?
Probably 14.
That's much different than the one I'm looking at.
This is 2014.
You on Google?
Google Earth,
You're
yeah.
on
This is
2019.
It looks like a complete project to me.
Yeah, no, this is 2014, Google Earth is 2019.
20 what?
This is 2014.
That's what I thought, 2014.
Okay.
That's what I mean, we're not putting in a map, there's already a pad there. So, I'll admit, I'm not quite as familiar with the project we're doing that we approved last year, but
Yeah, I don't know, how much of the yellow was already there before they started? I'm not familiar with that either.
This is that corner.
Basically, yeah, I mean, you had the small V ditch going down through the center.
And no pad coming off the two,
Oh, yeah, that's been there for quite a while. They actually tied into that.
Oh,
Yes,
all
that
right.
was there. That was there.
do you know why he wanted to widen it in the first place?
I do remember.
For the same reason, because we had erosion issues right there where the double flares come out, under Harvest Glen. That was boiling right there and washing. We were putting riprap in to hold that in place. And then as you go down and you make your first turn to the left, that whole bank there where the one homeowner's fence ties in, that was eroding. We had to build that up with
Street View doesn't have
riprap.
it.
Right.
Street View doesn't have, but you can see how
'cause the street view's from 2012.
Yeah.
That's how that original project came to be, Chris,
All right.
was basically because of those erosion issues.
Well, we'll get to test Williams' theory on, see if it's right.
I hope the sod, I'm all for it.
But if we do have to fix it again, it'll be the fourth
Cheryl
time.
wants to ask a question.
Grab the mic, Shirley.
Surely you have to get a microphone.
That I would not expect anything less.
One there, one here, whichever.
Just ridiculous. We shouldn't have to do.
I just wanna know why the ditch wasn't straight to start with. Why it curves like that,
Why they built a house.
Probably platted the lot.
Who was on the board in 1991?
never mind.
That was harsh.
Wasn't me either.
Microphone.
Oh, you gotta have a microphone.
I mean,
It was
obviously,
1970.
water is gonna flow better in a straight ditch than an S-curve. I mean, that's just common sense. So if you're gonna fix it, take the S-curve completely out and make it straight.
But then with,
If
Well,
you're gonna,
then you need to start buying property.
yeah,
I can tell you,
because you go right through Lee's yard and.
We would go through.
Then
the-
you're really increasing the cost.
well, I mean, from my little experience, they're gonna say they want some of them curves and bends to slow the water down.
Yep.
Put a tree in.
I don't disagree with you,
That's enough for
Chris.
streets for today. I'm done.
All right.
And hopefully, Martin will be back on track shortly with our road construction on, Red Fox and Frosty Morning.
Utilities?
Mine, it's not on there, it's just a reminder, that Wednesday, September 25th is the bulk pickup date for, garbage. So just to remind everybody that's billed through the village, have items at the curb by 6 a.m. But please remember, do not do electronics, tires, liquid paint, or hazardous waste. It will not be picked up. And do not put it out there hoping that somebody will, or hoping that, because it's gonna be sitting there when they leave.
For the video audience, the date again?
September 25th, Wednesday.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Economic development. As of now, I'm planning on attending the ISCS.
ICSC.
Okay, it is ICSC. I'm a little dyslexic today. It is on there correctly. It's the 16th and 17th of October. I didn't know if William was still planning on going or not.
Working on it. We've got them thumb drives still?
Yeah, what do you want on them?
I will get you the.
Let me know. I've got probably about 25 or 30 of them left.
Okay. Anything on economic development from anybody? Public? Closed session?
I'll make a motion, go into closed session under 2C11, litigation when an action against affecting or on behalf of the public of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting.
I'll second that.
John makes a motion to go into closed session under section 2C11. Dina seconds.
Bye, Shirley.
Bye, Shirley.
Roll call.
Hope it was entertaining.
John,
Yes.
Dina,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared.
Yes.
7:30. Entertain a motion to reconvene open session?
I'll make a motion to
What?
reconvene open session.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to reconvene open session. John?
Yep.
John second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We are back in open session at 7:43. We do not have any actions on closed session items.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to adjourn, Chris seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We are adjourned at 7:44.